So I had to make a makeshift cooler because, usually for the holidays and wintertime around here we have outdoors, but it's too nice out. And we're trying to brine a turkey that we want to smoke. And I was just going to put this brining pot in our cooler, but it doesn't fit. So I have all these frozen bottles of water in this tote, and there's our brining turkey that smells good, that we're gonna put on the smoker on Thanksgiving Day. And there's Nala and Rain helping, so we'll see what happens. While the meat's on the smoker, I'm making some pies and stuff, and I just thought it would be fun to show you my cookbook. This is the good old-fashioned church cookbooks from southwestern Minnesota, and my mom gave this to my grandma in 1978, and it just has this is my mom's caramel roll recipe, just kind of interpreted from over on the side here. And this is the pie crust recipe that I'm using, that my mom uses, and this is how you make it. And then you roll it in between two pieces of wax paper so it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. But I just love these. Old church cookbooks. Every once in a while there's some notes in here that my grandma made. So yeah, these are always fun to find. Well loved. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock and we took the turkey off the smoker and we're gonna finish it in the oven because we don't think that's going to make good gravy, so I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in the bottom of the pan and finish it off in the oven. Here's how my pies turned out. They look good. That one got a hole in it, but I don't know how that happened, but sometimes those things you have to live with. Okay, here is the turkey. So a couple of things that we know that it's done is the little thing popped up. And then also if you just grab a hold of the legs, they should just fall right apart. So that's how you tell when it's done. So now I'm going to drain off the juices to make some gravy and cover it up and rest until the rest of the food is ready to go. I'm going to have to try a different pecan pie recipe next year because, this one this pecan pie recipe, it just keeps on making, like that hole keeps appearing. So I'm not sure why it's a disappearing pie, but we'll try a different recipe next year. So I'm not sure. A lot of people say, oh, it's hard to make gravy, and it's really not. So this is the drippings in the bottom of the pan from the turkey, and right in this little jar here is some water, a little bit of half and half, and flour mixed together. And that's all I'm going to do is dump it in here and whisk it until it thickens. So here we go. And here we go. So I just poured that roux in here, cranked the stove up to high, and we're just gonna let this come to a boil and keep whisking it until it thickens up. And if it starts to get too thick, I'll add I have some hot water in my teapot that I'll add to it, but I think we got it perfect. Oh gosh, watch out for flying gravy. Okay, now after your meal is done, this is the most important part of the day. You clean off your bones you have all of your meat left over for sandwiches and stuff for the week. And then you take the pan with all your bones and fat in it, and you cover them with water, and you put it in your oven at about 200 degrees for like a day or two, and you will have the best soup ever. Okay, so the bone broth spent the night in the refrigerator, and now it's, if there was a lot of fat along the top, I would be scraping that off before I put it back in the oven today, but it really doesn't. And then one thing, like, this is what the $1 billion bone broth industry, like, it's just boiled bones. So here you go. And you can kind of tell, see how turkey, see how it's kind of gelatinous? That means that it's good. It is getting the minerals and stuff out of the bone. So back in the oven today at 185, and then back in the fridge overnight. So here is our bone broth that has sat in the refrigerator overnight, and it has such a thin layer of fat on it that I really can't scrape it off. So just a really nice, delicious, rich bowl of bone broth that we can make soup with, or you could can it and keep it around for stock, or just heat it up and drink it, whatever you want. But I am going to transfer it into the soup pot, and I'm just going to put carrots, onions, and celery in it. You can put leftover turkey, egg noodles, whatever you want to make soup, but I'm just going to keep it simple and make a simple vegetable soup with it. And there we go. And another important step that I sort of forgot is that we take the wishbone out of the turkey and let it dry on the windowsill, and then we pull the wishbone apart at Christmas time. So somebody's wish is sitting right there.